So agitated service personnel or those who are incoming or have already served raising concerns about the non-payment of their allowances or arrears and how they would want government and the National Service Secretariat to deal with it as quickly as possible.
Let's turn our attention to Kintampo because we're learning that Kintampo Waterfalls has been closed down for an audit. The Tourism Minister, Catherine Apeko, is also reported as saying that her ministry will present an LI to Parliament on regulating operations of tourist sites here in our country. Meanwhile, the Vice President, Mahamadou Bawumia, has announced that government will bear the cost of treatment for survivors of the Kintampo Waterfall disaster and also assist with the funeral of all those who died. But you remember that social media video of a prophet who's said to have prophesied about the Kintampo Waterfalls. I'm sure you quite remember because it made huge headlines yesterday. Prince Apia of our sister station, Love FM in Kumasi, has been speaking to the prophets, and he joins us via phone now for some more details. Hello, good morning to you, Prince.
Good morning, Mamavi.
Thanks for joining us. So you sat down with this prophet. Are there any more prophecies?
Yeah, I did talk to him yesterday. I asked him that same question, and what he tells me is that he will only come out to say anything about the nation if that drops into his mind or in his dream as revealed to him by God. If nothing of that sort comes to him, he will never come out to say anything from his mind. For him, he is a true prophet of God, and he will only speak if God talks to him. So the incident that occurred on Sunday, for instance, it was just a radio program. They are there to pray, and it dropped in his heart. God opened his eyes, and he saw it vividly, and he spoke exact what God asked him to say. And that is why he came out to say it. He tells me that normally, if he gets any revelation about anybody, he goes to the person straight forward. He doesn't tell any other person. He tells the person who the dream or the revelation is about, then explain to him what the person is supposed to do to either stop or avert the consequences of whatever revelation is coming. But this particular one, he was spoken on the spot when he was holding a program, and for him, the message was that he should say it, and that there was someone who was listening to it who was supposed to carry the message along to whoever was in charge of the students going for that particular excursion. And the person refused, and that is why we have this particular tragedy on the nation.
I'm just curious, Prince, how about the message that says God reveals to redeem? Did you ask him why he didn't pray to prevent it?
Yes, I also asked him that question, and his explanation was that, yes, for him, in prophecies, there are dimensions and there are stages. He was the first messenger, and the second messenger was the person he was asked to mention, who was listening to the program at that point in time. He tells me that the person is an influential person who, if he had gone to inform the organizers of the excursion, they would have stopped and they would have listened to him. So the person was the second messenger, and according to the spiritual laws, that person was supposed to deliver the final message to those who were concerned, and that he did his part. And if God wanted him to pray about it, and if prayer could have stopped it, he would have prayed and stopped it. But for him, that particular prophecy had that direction, and that is why he couldn't pray to stop it.
Okay. So I'm just trying to get from your conversation from him. So this person who was listening, who was supposed to have carried the message, is not a student of the school?
No, he tells me he's not a student, but he's an influential person who was supposed, who is someone who, if he tells them, they would listen and obey and will not continue with the excursion. Yeah.
So the fact that the incident occurred means that the person didn't carry the message along. Is he ready now to give the name of this person, because this person obviously didn't listen to the voice of God?
Yeah, what he says is that the name or the identity of that person, he didn't see that. But what he was told was that that person was an influential person who could have saved the situation, but refused one way or the other because perhaps the person thought it was not a genuine message coming from God, or perhaps the Satan had, worked on him to forget the message.
Oh, okay. So where do we go from here, Prince? Any word from the prophets?
Yes, his final words from the interview I had with him was that we must be serious in prayers in this particular time, because the enemy is really working hard to put a lot of negative and bad things in the country this year. So we must stand up and pray and take prophets serious. Whatever they say, we must take them serious and not rubbish their messages down the carpet.
All right, Prince, thanks very much for speaking to us and for that conversation with this prophet at the center of, this whole tragedy as it occurred. And as the incident occurred, then we learned that apparently a prophet had seen it. It had been revealed to him. And somebody was expected to have carried the message to stop the student from traveling to this waterfall in the first place. But the fact that it occurred means that this person did not carry forward the message. As it is, this is where we are. There will be more on this incident later on, more updates from the various angles. But let's go to another incident that occurred, very tragic also, a 14-year-old girl who is battling life-threatening complications after 5 men defiled and attempted killing her. And this is a story that was found by Ohim Interior.
Police have arrested 25-year-old cobbler and ex-convict Yapreko, as well as a driver's mate, Mohammed Adamu, in connection with the case. Police have also launched a manhunt for 3 other accomplices, identified as Junior, Audu, and Safo. Both Adamu and Preko have been speaking to Asia News few days after an Nkoko Magistrate Court remanded them into police custody on defilement and conspiracy to commit crime charges. Despite the two pleading for leniency, they say they were never satisfied sexually from that incident. The 2 suspects narrated a plan to kill their victim and dump her body in the Trado stream.
I was attending to nature school at the news station. The people were already in the act near the river, and I joined them. It was this man who asked me to kill her after the sexual act. Though I resisted initially, I strangled her until she became unconscious and left her in the stream. I was not the last person to have sex with her. I was in fact the third. I remember the girl pleading with us to stop.
This is absolutely crazy, really. This is one of the stories that, you hear, and especially when you hear somebody confess to it. I mean, and I hope that we never hear from this guy. I mean, he doesn't deserve to be heard in the first place. But one person who absolutely is expected to be heard is Ohim Interior, who filed this report. Ohim Interior, good morning to you. Thank you. I wonder how you felt when you were hearing these guys narrate this incident.
Yes, Mama V, it was very sad, and for me as a journalist, I was a bit surprised that these suspects can go ahead to tell me the truth without mincing words, even in the presence of the police, how they managed to do what they did. And they don't seem to be remorseful, just that they want to speak out the truth. And that is what baffled me as a journalist, Mama V.
Just asking, are these normal people? I mean, from what you saw?
Yes, they are normal people who live in the Koko community. For Preko, the gentleman in red shirt, he's a popular cobbler at the new Nkoko lorry terminal. And the gentleman in blue, he is Adamu Mohammed. He is also a driver's mate. They ply their trade within the new lorry terminal. So from Nkoko, for instance, they know Adamu as somebody who smokes. So he has an alias called Kiwi. Even when police arrested the two of them, they had in their possession raffles of dry news.
Ohime, I'm afraid we seem to be losing you a bit. If you can just reposition yourself.
Is it better now?
It is absolutely better. Please continue.
Yes. What I was saying is that within the Nkoko vicinity, these are very popular guys who ply their trade at the new lorry terminal. At the moment, the gentleman in blue shirt, he has another name called Shimi, and the cobbler, is also an ex-convict who had initially served 5-year jail term for narcotics. And just recently, before the 2016 elections, he was also in prison 2 months for assaulting a lady. So even during the arrest, they had wrappers of dry news suspected to be Indian home in their possession. So these are very normal people in the Nkoko vicinity. But I must say, they are on drugs.
So, Ohime, we're talking in Nkoko in the eastern region, correct?
Yes, Nkoko in the eastern region.
Okay. So let's talk about this girl who suffered this, rather bizarre, Roland will put it, bizarre incident. How is she doing?
For now, the girl faces a lot of challenges. She faces walking difficulties even when she walks. She can't walk as she used to be. And she has also grown pale. I spoke to the grandmother whether that was her condition before the incident. And she confided in me that a lot of things have changed in the girl. She's actually a school dropout. She dropped out of school at class 4. And because she's unable to earn meat, what she does is to engage in ice water business. But it was one of these ice water business trips that these gentlemen, 5 of them, forced her into sexual activity and also dumped her body in a stream called Trado between Nkoko and a suburb called Adwejiri. So for now, she has been bleeding profusely. She's also been experiencing severe abdominal and stomach pain. That makes it impossible or difficult for her to even eat up to feet now. So the grandmother has been trying to provide some assistance. She told me after she was discharged from the hospital, she has been, warming water for the little girl to sit on the warm water, part of the healing process. But she thinks that the girl needs attention. As a journalist, when I saw her, I also thought that yes, she indeed needs medical attention beyond her being discharged from the hospital.
So what is the police saying about all this? They shouldn't have any difficulties at all with prosecution because these 2 guys have confessed.
Yes, for the Nkoko Divisional Police, they have been very swift, especially on Sunday when the incident was reported to their outfit. They also provided some sort of medical support to the girl. So after she regained some sort of consciousness at the hospital, it was through her narration that the police took to the streets and marched to arrest these 2 suspects who have also confirmed to the act. And they were arraigned before an Nkoko magistrate court. So the magistrate court remanded these 2 gentlemen to reappear next month in police custody. So they have been assisting police in that regard. But don't forget, there are 3 other gentlemen or accomplices who took part in this dastard act. They are actually on the run. So police say they are all on their heels. I spoke to the Nkoko Divisional Commander, Chief Superintendent Kintampo Waterfalls, who just indicates that police will do everything within their power to arrest the 3 people who are on the run. And he also appeals to the general public to also assist the police information. But for now, he says police will continue to give the little support that they can to the grandmother for the act of the 14-year-old girl and also provide some sort of security for her in order to continue with the prosecution. But Mama V, I must say that the 14-year-old girl was in court, and she demonstrated to the court how the 5 men, a gang, raped her and also attempted murdering her in the Trado stream.
Any help at all that you think that we can all give to this 14-year-old and her grandmother? Any immediate support?
Yes, we can assist the family several ways. For instance, in the form of food, in the form of clothing, and also in the form of money, because for now they need money to also get detailed medical treatment or medical support in that regard. So it won't be out of place to assist the family in this regard. Don't forget, she trades in ice water business. It's the same business that also some sort of feeds the family. She lives with the grandmother, and the grandmother is not somebody who is able to work at this moment. And as we speak now, she's even at home providing care to the 14-year-old girl. So to be in a better position to assist the family financially and also in kind.
Incredible. Ohimen Teria, we'll leave it here, but we'll certainly come back to you for updates. And if there's anything more that you think our audience, our viewers can also, do to support, please let us know. That's Ohimen Teria, our colleague with Insura FM, filing the story from Nkoko. This is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And it's the way our society has developed too. And I guess on the other side, is also the need for us to strengthen the social welfare systems and then the health systems too.
Yeah.
Because once somebody is a victim of this this difficult situation, the person needs a lot more psychological attention than only medical. And we don't have the structures either in the family or in the communities to provide that sort of relief and the strength that the person needs. And this also increases the tendencies for other psychotic problems that people need to have or people will be having. And I just pity the young lady or the young girl who is a victim of this tragic event. I call it a tragedy because it's a very difficult situation. At the end of the day, we know that we also need to take a serious look at many of the things that happen, and we hope that we'll have some relief for the young lady. But we need to follow up on this and see how she ends, because it's not a one-month issue. It could follow her for the rest of her life if it's not handled well at the end of the day.
It's true. And we can, just get the things right and get Ohime back on air tomorrow. See how we can all put together something so that he can take it back to the family.
Him back online tomorrow, and if in the beginning of next week, before the close of the week, and we'll make sure we do that for 3 months and see what will be the effect.
So the court processes can continue, but then so the young lady and her grandmother can also survive. But it looks like we're having very heartbreaking stories to share with you on our show today, because Erastus Asari Donko is also reporting of a school building that has collapsed. Once you hear school building collapsed, you immediately remember the one that happened in the central region that killed very, very little children. So here's Erastus Asari Donko's report.
On my first visit to the Patase Sisiase Kokobin PSK MA Primary School, I learned a collapsed part of the classroom block nearly killed this boy.
Na nipa bebre school man so no dim coffee na mam koto duro die man.
Well, he says he leaned against the wall that day and then it came tumbling down. But pupils were still sitting under the dilapidated mud brick structure with visible cracks all over. After a stormy night on Sunday, the whole structure collapsed in what could have been a tragedy if classes were in session. Some of the pupils feel saved by God.
Today we come to school and I saw that the structure has broken. I feel that when we are in that time when it has collapsed and we are learning, it can kill some people, but God has saved us. The time the structure broken, nobody was here learning.
When you study under the tree, how does it affect you?
Oof, okay, apologies there for our frozen video. We'll get it unfrozen, but Erastus joins us on the phone lines with more. Erastus, good morning.
Good morning, Mama V.
Thank you for the tour when I was in Kumasi. It was absolutely nice.
It was nice buying what you.
It's okay. Every time it's only Mama V. I also come for a tour.
No problem. I'll give you fufu and rare coin.
Yeah, that would be great.
But Erastus, let's talk about this structure that has finally given in. You knew this was going to happen.
In fact, I knew it was going to happen, and I was praying that it doesn't happen when the children are in school. I was praying, and I think somehow God has answered my prayers. Though it fell, it did not fall at any time.
And that's also the fear. Are people,
exactly.
Because once, people didn't die, once there was nobody there, this could just, also just pass like any other thing that has happened. So what is happening to this, the pupils, and what are plans to put up a new structure for them?
Well, unfortunately, the answer to your last question, what are plans to put a new structure for them? There are no plans. Oh. In fact, I learned that the district assembly got a rep to go and see the site, the collapse site, but that was it. And when we did the story about a month ago, we were expecting that authorities will add some urgency to the situation, looking at the structure so that they could go there at least. Put the children in a different structure or put up some plans to rectify the situation, but it didn't happen. And so they narrowly escaped because it happened on Sunday, close to the early hours of the morning, and I understand the children were out of school. It could have been a total disaster. So now they are studying under trees. They have 3 trees in front of the school. So class 1 and 2 under one tree, and then the other trees are housing class 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so when it starts to rain or there is a cloudy sky, the teachers are telling me they close the children, ask them to go.
Erastus, which assembly is responsible for this place?
That is the Mampong Municipal. And mind you, this structure serves as a classroom school for 3 communities. That's why we call it CSK. CSK is for the 3 communities, Sitiase, and Kokobin. That's why they call it CSK. And so we have about 118 children in this school from class 1 to class 6. And now they are studying under the tree. We are expecting that once government authorities see this, they might go to their aid and offer some solution.
Amazing. Erastus, we're adding this to our Konfanochi projects. Every morning we should play it back and remind them that these are children who still don't have anywhere to study. God saved them. They were not in the structure when it came down, but they definitely deserve new structures. They deserve education, and they deserve to be taught in a good place. So Erastus, thank you very much. We'll leave it here, but let's do this every morning. I don't mind. I'm not, Roland, you don't mind, do you?
I don't.
Yeah, so we can do this every morning until they put up a new structure.
Yes.
Thank you, Erastus.
We can make it actually a crusade on the AM show.
Yeah, let's add it to Call for Anoche. Let's get them to fix it. But this is one that
so we're even live there at the
no, we're not. Corporate Ghana, we know that there are a lot of the big companies that also do corporate social responsibility. Putting up a new school block, you know, shouldn't be a hard task. If government won't do it, if the assembly won't do it, I mean, we should be able to do it. Okay, all right, we've got entertainment. But this, we're not killing the story. No, we're not. Never. We're fixing it.
We're not killing the story, and we're not killing entertainment too. It's up next.